Executive Director of our Westlake Charter School. Here we are back in distance learning, relaunching after spring break. And yes, we are doing distance learning all the way until summer break. And so we thought we'd give you this quick video to walk you through a couple of new features and to remind you of a couple of features that haven't changed around distance learning here at Westlake Charter School. All right, let's dive in and take a look. To be honest, we couldn't start a school-wide meeting without, recognizing some celebrations from our community. We've distributed over 300 Chromebooks to our families who need them, and congratulations to all of the people who got involved to make this happen. I also like to celebrate that Westlake Charter School is recognized by the California Department of Education as a model school for distance learning. And so many schools have reached out to us and said, hey, can we replicate the work that you're doing? We've said absolutely. We've been sharing with schools around the state, several schools that have adopted kind of our methodologies and used our little template for a Google site of their own. And so we're really proud of the work that Westlake is doing during this difficult time. We'd like to celebrate team collaboration. All of our teachers and our staff have been getting together via Google Meet to make sure that all this work is built appropriately for all of our students here at Westlake Charter School. And, I'd love to celebrate the celebrations. So many of you out there have been posting on Facebook and Twitter and all the different places and Instagram about the work that's happening here, and that makes us so proud. Please keep celebrating your teachers because they're doing an amazing job. Next, I'd just like to celebrate distance learning itself. It takes so many different forms. We have some videos that we love, and there's Mrs. Batten reading a book, but we also have paper and pencil projects that are going on, and even like letters being mailed between students. I am inspired by the work that's happening during this unconventional time. And so thank you, families, for being part of making this still an opportunity to learn and stay connected as our community. So let's take a look at what distance learning looks like coming out of spring break, going all the way to the end of the year. First, I'll cover my agenda for this video. We're going to talk about the calendar and how we go from April 21st to May 27th on distance learning. We're going to talk about end of the year events because I want you to hear we're still doing promotion and all kinds of exciting things. I want you to look at distance learning and recognize that we still have continued flexibility and support. We have additional resources for support that we want to unveil today. We have some additional adaptive resources that I think you're going to love, and I want you to hear about some additional opportunities to connect as a school community. Let's dive in and start with the calendar. So there's a copy right there of the calendar that was approved by the board during our last board meeting that was all held online. What we've decided to do is to end the school year on May 27th. Now, that's just a couple of days shorter than our traditional end of the school year, but we need those days for teachers to get together and work on how will we reopen in the fall? How will we shut down our classrooms? How will we get things distributed back to students that got left in the classrooms? So we have some work to do at the end of the year that we would typically do, all together, but now we have to do it via social distancing. It's going to take more time to do some of the work that we typically do. So the end of the school year is May 27th. That'll be the day of promotion and all of the exciting opportunities like field day, and you'll see all that coming forward. Now, we want you to know that end of the year events, we're starting to build a really fun calendar. We're going to run it past our WAVE partners, and we're going to be sending that out in the Westlake Weekly this next Sunday. So keep your eye on the weekly. You get a full calendar with all the upcoming dates and all the exciting things that we're going to be doing from now until the end of the school year. You'll have spirit days and coffee talks and family connection opportunities. Open house will be on there. We'll make sure we talk to you about field day and, of course, promotion on May 27th. So we apologize for the adjusted calendar, but we are excited to say that, coming out of the end of this week and going forward, you'll have a full understanding of what happens when. So thank you for your collaboration on that. Okay, now that we understand the calendar, let's dive in and take a look at distance learning and how it looks from now until the end of the school year. First, we want to remind everybody that we built this platform based on the idea of flexibility and support because we wanted our families to have the flexibility with time to be able to care for your own family first and then get to distance learning when it was good for your schedule. We wanted that for our families, but we also wanted that for our staff. Our teachers and our staff are at home caring for their families as well. And so we think flexibility is a key feature as well as support. So let's take a little look. First, as you dive into it, class level page. We have continued flexible time. Remember, you can go to this Google Classroom at your own schedule when it is good for you. We even see some people who can't make it during the week, and that's okay. They will just get to it on the weekend, and that's okay too. No one will be held, accountable if they can't get to something, because we understand flexibility is incredibly important right now. Next, we want to remind you that support is there. Our staff have office hours every single day, and so email your teacher. Your teacher now has Google Voice, and so they can call and text you through Google Voice as a feature that they're beginning to utilize. And so email your teacher, tell them the type of support you need, and let's see if we can make that happen. Next, I want to remind you that we have daily opportunities to learn, right? You go to your Google Classroom, inside the Google Classroom, great opportunities. And then we have also opportunities for extended learning. Obviously, our specialties, we want you to be doing that every week. We have PE, art, and Spanish down here, but as well as extended opportunities throughout the week that address core content as well. And so again, we want this to be a continued flexible learning opportunity, but we want you to have all the support you need. And so if you have any tech support issues, if you have a YouTube video that is blocked on your student's Chromebook, if you have a technical issue, you can't get into Padlet, you can email, even from your student's account, you can email helpdesk@westlakecharter.com, and you will be connected with our tech team who is there to support you in real time. So I know a lot of people are emailing their teacher, the teacher's then emailing help desk. You can skip the middle person and go straight to helpdesk@westlakecharter.com for any tech support that you need. Okay, our next topic discusses additional support resources. Since the launch of distance learning over 3 weeks ago now, we've added several support resources to our distance learning website that we really wanted you to take a look at. The first up is our counseling resources and support. And I'm going to take you through a little tour of this page because it is truly phenomenal. So right here on the front of our distance learning website is the counseling resources and support page. And if you click on there, we want you to recognize that our amazing school counselor, Mrs. Cravoy, has done a phenomenal job with her team, really curating some resources. We have mental health resources, including crisis lines that are phone and text-based. We have social emotional resources, videos that help families understand what they can do to help reduce anxiety for their children. Some really amazing slides here regarding self-care that you can just click right through. And then at the bottom, a multitude of resources that are incredibly helpful, as we're all at home on quarantine. Next, we have a new special education link that arrived on the website maybe 2 weeks ago, but I want to highlight it. Any students served by our amazing special education department, can take a look at this link right here and see the resources and the contact information that's available from your case managers and all the people who wrap around our students and give them all the support they need for school. Now, the Student Support Services tab has always been here, but I wanted to highlight it because it has some amazing resources for all of our families. And of course, a reminder that the parent resource page is here that will walk you through how to use some of the technology that we're leveraging, as well as give you some frequently asked questions that are being updated, week by week right there on the parent resource page. Okay, now that we've covered additional support resources, we'd like to talk about additional adaptive learning resources. Now, these are resources you may already be familiar with, but we're using them in a way to really meet your student where they are. I'd like to describe that. When you land on your grade level distance learning page, it'll look just like it always has with the blue buttons at the top, and that's your Google Classroom. The change is that once you click into your Google Classroom, you're going to start to see that some of these adaptive resources like Lexia and Freckle have been added inside the Google Classroom. Take a look. Okay, inside of our Google Classroom, you'll see a lot that looks very familiar. You'll still see daily social emotional learning activities. These are these activities that help build social emotional learning competencies in our students and really help keep our students connected to the classroom. You'll also see academic activities posted by our amazing Westlake Charter School staff. A lot of great learning opportunities are coming through there with videos of our staff walking students through instructional components, and we find that's a great way to engage with our students. We love that piece. However, what you're going to see new is These resources, Freckle and Lexia, for example, used to be in the extended learning opportunities, but now we're placing them in the Google Classroom and encouraging our students to engage for, 10 to 20 minutes a day in each area for a multitude of reasons. First, these adaptive learning platforms meet our students right where they are. And we focused on Lexia and Freckle, or math and reading, because we know that these are the most enduring key skills that our students need to continue to build on their education as they go into next year and subsequent years. We think if your student's able to spend 10 to 20 minutes a day, on these platforms, they could adaptively learn at their own pace and really keep themselves engaged so that they can move forward, not only this year, but in subsequent years. And so really investing on your daily calendar with your student. When will I do my SEL activity? When will I do my teacher's academic activities? And when can I put in some reading and some math that is adaptive to meet the exact needs that my student is demonstrating? This really allows your student to move forward and really from a place where they are already. The last piece of that is that if you did 10 to 20 minutes a day of reading and mathematics, what we've seen is this allows for incredible growth. Now, I know some people are like, hey, I want my student to read a book 20 minutes a day. Yes, read books every day with your student. But the Lexia platform is actually a research-based platform that is demonstrating incredible ability to help grow students' reading and fill some holes that might be there, through previous years of reading instruction. And so we think while we're home on distance learning from now until summer, then this is a great opportunity to fill some gaps that might already be there, or to allow students to move forward in math and reading. Now, we're going to open these platforms up for summer as well, because at some point after May 27th, right, our distance learning comes to a close. Our teachers won't be up there on the screen, but could I be reading and doing math all summer? Well, if we open access to these resources, then yes, your student can continue to grow throughout summer break. So now that we understand that the platform is still flexible and has support, we understand that additional support resources are there, and then we're going to be using some adaptive learning platforms integrated into our Google Classroom so that our students are really getting instruction right where they are and take them right to where they need to go. Let's talk about additional opportunities to connect. Now, we did surveys amongst our staff and our families and heard resoundingly, boy, we would love to connect more with our students. And so we'd like to introduce Google Meet. Now, Google Meet is a video chat platform that allows us to communicate with our students, but it has some safety features that we really like because it's inside of our Google domain as opposed to being on a separate platform, like Zoom or another platform. So we're going to go forward with Google Meet. We're going to go very slow to make sure that it's safe, that everybody understands what is expected when we get in these video chats. Now, these are non-instructional video chats. You're not going to see a teacher jumping on for a 30-minute lesson on a video chat. These video chats are designed so that we can connect, so we can check in with one another. They're probably going to be very short, just an opportunity to get some faces on a screen and say, oh, that's right, we are still a classroom community. And so we love it for that non-instructional opportunity. Now, this opportunity to connect may take place first in small groups. We may say, oh, hey, when is it good for you to come to a meeting next week? Oh, you're available Monday, and this group's available Monday, this group's available Tuesday. Great. We'll start off with small group meetings so the students can learn the norms of the digital classroom and platform, how to unmute themselves when it's time to talk, how to mute themselves when it's not their turn, respecting norms of having the video camera facing them with a wall behind them so no one walks behind them on accident into the video chat. Really establishing those norms so that it can be a safe opportunity for our classrooms to connect. So we'll take it slow at first. We really want to make sure that we survey our families about when is it good for your calendar and are you even interested in connecting? And if you're not, it's okay. We just want to make sure we offer the opportunity for families, if they're interested, to have their students connect with our teachers and one another via Google Meet. Okay, families, thanks for hanging in there throughout this entire video. I covered quite a bit there, so feel free to rewind, and I'll also try to make sure the Westlake Weekly continues to be updated with all the information you need. Family, during this incredibly unprecedented time, I'm very proud of the work that you've done to hold this community together. Those first 3 weeks of distance learning went very well, but we've got 5 weeks ahead of us, and we want to make sure we work together to make them impactful, but also to make them flexible, so to keep our anxiety levels down. We promise that we'll continue to keep communication flowing, to make sure we are listening and responding to your needs, and we'll make sure that our amazing staff are also well taken care of so they can help to take care of your amazing students. Okay, thank you, families. And as always, let's explore